Heya Cryptozens, welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus and we do crypto news analysis nightly at 10 p.m. And keep in mind, none of this should be considered financial advice. And it's Saturday, March 4th, 2023. Ajay Kumar Chaudhary is an executive director at the Reserve Bank of India. Apparently, the RBI has been testing the digital rupee for offline use. They launched a pilot program for the digital rupee on November 1st, 2022. This allowed 50,000 users and 5,000 merchants to test it in the real world. Since then, around 800,000 transactions worth $134 million have been completed using wholesale CBDCs. Chaudhary said that the RBI is assessing the CBDC's potential for cross-border transactions and its integration with legacy systems in other countries. Chaudhary also expressed enthusiasm for the private sector and fintech's involvement in CBDC. He expects their contribution, especially in areas of offline and cross-border CBDC transactions. Chaudhary would tell you that the digital rupee will soon possess all of the features of physical currency, including anonymity. Sure it will. The RBI launched the CBDC to promote financial inclusion and lead the digital economy in India. Chaudhary also said that the CBDC would eventually replace cryptocurrencies, which is their master plan after all. Cryptocurrency came on the scene and the bankers started getting nervous. When they saw the antiquated TradFi system that was losing to crypto in terms of speed and efficiency, they knew they had to take steps. Enter the central bank digital currency, which pretends to be just as good as real cryptocurrency, but clearly is not. India's Unified Payments Interface expanded its services to Singapore on February 21st. The UPI Pay Now integration enables citizens of both countries to send money across borders quickly. Initially, 4 major Indian banks will enable outgoing remittances. These are the State Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, Indian Bank, ICICI Bank. Meanwhile, Axis Bank and DBS Bank India will enable incoming remittances. Users in the region will receive the service from Singapore's DBS Bank and Liquid Group. A recent report by the Wall Street Journal revealed that Tether used falsified documents and intermediaries to access bank accounts. The company reportedly utilized bank accounts belonging to executives of different firms by making slight changes to the company's names. This report suggests that Tether may have obscured the true nature of its transactions by using these tactics. The news comes as Tether has faced increasing scrutiny in recent years over concerns regarding the company's transparency and its reserves backing its stablecoin. According to a recent report, Tether and its sister company Bitfinex were accused of opening 9 new bank accounts for shell companies in Asia in October of 2018. This report suggests that this was done through the use of Shadow Bank Crypto Capital Corp, because they held Tether funds until it was shut down by authorities in 2018. This report implies that Tether may have contributed to questionable practices to access bank accounts even after the closure of Crypto Capital Corp. This news adds to the ongoing concerns around the transparency and legality of Tether's operations. Tether's chief technology officer is Paulo Arduino. Now, he responded to the Journal report on Twitter. He claimed that it contained a lot of inaccuracies and misinformation. That said, he did not provide any specifics. The report stated that Stephen Moore, co-owner of Tether Holdings, had objected to the use of fake sales invoices. Moore reportedly stated in an email that he wasn't about to argue about the use of such invoices in a potential fraud or money laundering case. The email referred to an intermediary that traded USDT in China. This raises further questions about the legality of Tether's operations and its relationship with its intermediaries. The report mentioned a recording of a call with former Tether executive Phil Potter. This recording was posted on YouTube in 2017 by Bitfinex. In that recording, Potter discussed past banking issues faced by Tether and Bitfinex. He said that they were able to find ways around them. He mentioned that they had been able to open new accounts or use other tricks to navigate the situation. This statement implies that Tether and Bitfinex may have used questionable tactics in the past to access banking services. This recording adds to the concerns surrounding Tether's transparency and compliance with regulations. Crypto companies have often faced challenges when trying to secure banking services. Tether has had several bank accounts in recent years, but some banks have just closed them. The journal's report on Tether's questionable banking practices came just after Silvergate announced that it had to restate its financials and would miss the deadline to file its annual report. As a result, major clients have severed their ties with Silvergate, and its stock price has dropped. In recent months, federal regulators have cautioned banks about the potential risks involved in their relationships with crypto companies. This highlights the challenges that crypto businesses face in navigating the traditional financial system. Austin Federa is the head of strategy at the Solana Foundation, and he was at ETH Denver. Federa expressed that the New York Department of Financial Services is causing obstacles for many projects issuing stablecoins or similar blockchain services. Furthermore, Solana has received feedback from projects encountering pretty draconian regulations in the European Union when it comes to non-custodial wallets. Federa said that Solana has not yet been certified by the department. He added that their approval is needed for new entrants who wants to issue a stablecoin. Federa also talked about the Solana network restart due to the recent slowdown in block production. He mentioned that there was no specific reason reported by the team's engineers and that there may have been an issue with the interaction between versions 1.13 and 1.14, or the latest upgrade attempt, which caused validators to restart. Federa commented on the testing of version 1.14. He said that it was tested for months before being moved to maintenance. However, the testing infrastructure for releases is not as robust as it needs to be. That means it didn't catch the error. And Federa is saying that the issue isn't that it wasn't tested, it didn't get moved to testnet without proper testing. He said it was a problem with the testing not being able to identify the error. Now, according to him, Solana's approach has been to develop a faster ecosystem in a few months. This is opposed to Ethereum, which took years. He mentioned that many projects are struggling to get venture capital funds due to the bear market. The negative media attention associated with crypto and blockchain doesn't help either. Federa emphasized the importance of stability in retaining users, as downtime poses a significant risk. He added that there has been a sacrifice of stability to release more features and to help the network grow quickly. And I think we're seeing this in the rampant instability of the network. The collapse of FTX in November of 2022 had an impact on Solana's mobile device plans. Federa stated that Solana temporarily removed its tap-to-pay fiat-to-crypto feature. They found themselves without a replacement for FTX, which was expected to facilitate those transactions. However, Solana plans to launch the feature in the first or second week of April. Solana has faced criticism on social media for its network outages. This includes a denial of service attack in 2021, congestion caused by NFT minting bots in May of 2022, and a consensus failure in June of 2022. At present, the cause of the latest outage is still unknown. However, Solana Labs founder and CEO clarified that it was not due to clogging the network's on-chain voting system. Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO of Ripple. He said that the United States is falling behind other countries in the cryptocurrency industry. He said that this was due to a lack of clear regulations. Same thing I've been saying. He believes that the potential of cryptocurrency is similar to that of the internet. I think that's true, and so are a lot of the challenges. Now, during a recent interview with Bloomberg, Garlinghouse mentioned that countries such as Australia, Japan, and the UK have already established clear regulations for the cryptocurrency industry. As a result, these countries have attracted investors and entrepreneurs who feel more confident operating in a regulatory environment. Garlinghouse believes that these countries have taken the time needed to create comprehensive rules for the industry. Garlinghouse suggests that the U.S. government, especially the SEC, should follow the lead of these other countries, that they should establish clear regulations for the cryptocurrency industry. He believes that this will prevent the exodus of talent offshore. Garlinghouse compared the situation to the early days of the internet. He praised the U.S. for implementing proper regulations in the late 1990s. Now, he mentioned that the U.S. is now a technology hub with companies like Amazon and Google headquartered in the country. That arrangement certainly has had geopolitical benefits for the United States. According to Garlinghouse, the best regulatory framework for the cryptocurrency industry should prioritize consumer protection. He believes that the SEC should not approach everything in the industry as a security. Garlinghouse thinks that not all those assets in the industry are securities, and some of them are used as currencies. He suggests that the SEC should recognize this distinction. Gary Gensler recently expressed his belief that everything in the cryptocurrency industry, except for Bitcoin, should be considered as a security. He thinks that all cryptocurrency transactions, excluding those involving Bitcoin, should be monitored and supervised by the SEC. In 2020, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple, alleging that the company's executives sold XRP tokens to investors without registering them as securities. The legal battle between the two parties is still ongoing, and Garlinghouse clearly believes that the outcome of the case will be crucial for the entire cryptocurrency industry. He suggests that the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple is not just about Ripple or even about XRP, but rather about the industry as a whole and how the SEC will approach regulating it. Garlinghouse believes that the SEC's approach by regulation by enforcement is not the right way to handle the industry. He suggests that the regulator should allow the technology to grow while ensuring maximum security for investors. Garlinghouse thinks that this approach will be much more effective in fostering innovation and growth in the industry while still protecting investors. William Updegrove is a senior trial attorney at the SEC. He expressed that the agency's staff believes that Binance US is operating a securities exchange in the US without proper registration. He also said that the SEC staff thinks the sale of VGX tokens by Voyager Digital violated federal securities laws. Updegrove made these comments in response to Judge Michael Wiles. Now, we talked about this the other night. The judge was dissatisfied by the SEC's lack of clarity about its objection to the Voyager sale at the beginning of the hearing. However, Updegrove clarified that the views of the SEC staff do not necessarily represent those of the 5 agency commissioners. He didn't mention if the SEC is planning any enforcement actions related to these statements. He said that the commission had not yet decided on the matters related to the sale of the VGX tokens or on the operation of Binance US as an unregistered securities exchange. He said that the SEC staff usually initiates an enforcement action, but it needs a majority vote of the commissioners in order to proceed. A spokesperson from Binance US said that they and other companies in the industry are committed to having constructive discussions with regulators. He said that they were committed to promoting a comprehensive regulatory framework enacted by Congress to sustain innovation in the U.S. Meanwhile, Updegrove's remarks align with those of Chair Gensler, who thinks that every crypto is a security and every crypto exchange should register as a national securities exchange. This, of course, would subject him to the SEC's compliance and disclosure rules. As part of its Chapter 11 bankruptcy restructuring, Voyager intends to sell its assets to Binance US. That proposal has received backing from 97% of Voyager's creditors, and a hearing about the plan has entered its 3rd day. Binance announced on March 3rd that it's introducing a plan in Hong Kong called the Joint Anti-Scam Campaign. Now, this is in partnership with law enforcement agencies to alert potential victims and to curb scams. While the campaign was launched in Hong Kong, the company aims to extend it to other regions. Binance partnered with Hong Kong's police force to produce a alert and crime prevention message that was tailored for Hong Kong residents. During the trial program, users attempting to withdraw funds received warning messages with information on common scams. They were also given tips on how to avoid these scams. Binance analyzed how customers responded to the messages for 4 weeks and discovered that about 20.4% of users either abandoned their withdrawal or conducted more research to determine whether the transaction was a scam. The warning message contains statistics on the number of scams that happened in Hong Kong in 2021. It also suggested resources such as Scammeter, the Anti-Deception Coordination Center, Cyber Defender, and Binance Verify. Users were also informed that Binance will never contact them directly. Binance regards the trial as a triumph and plans to team up with law enforcement and other areas to produce customized cautionary messages for users outside of Hong Kong. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating or review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.